How's it going, YouTube? Coming at you with a slightly early review. I got a review here for Moneyball. So let's get right into this. So the plot of this movie is Brad Pitt plays general manager of the Oakland A's baseball team, and they pretty much suck. And this movie delves into things like, that their budget is like 34 million, whereas the Yankees is like $170 million team. Like, that's serious money, and it gets into how it shows their team progressing, how they want to spend a little bit of money, but they need to, regain the faith of their fans, and they want to get those wins, and gain that popularity to get more money. And that's a story this tells, and it's based off a true story, apparently. And, for the most part, I guess it's a pretty interesting story. But let me just stay with some good stuff for now. Brad Pitt, obviously is in this. He gives a solid performance, all the time. I haven't really seen anything, that he's done where I was like, he sucked. But, it still felt like, oh, there's Brad Pitt, except in this movie, he's just chewing some tobacco, so it wasn't that big a deal. It was just him being him. Jonah Hill gives, a decent performance. It's above average, I would say, from him. It wasn't him just being dumb. But, when I saw this movie, there were people in the theater who I think they're like, oh, it's that guy. He's in funny movies, so he's always funny. And he's sitting there, printing out something, and people are laughing. I'm like, yeah, fat guy printing out paper. That's hilarious. But anyway, the real star of this movie is the script. It's written by, none other than Aaron Sorkin, the guy, who wrote Social Network. So it's really clever, and, it brings up really interesting concepts, about, the whole backstory on the system of the way they want to get players and how it's not all about image, it's about, the real, raw talent. When you crunch the numbers, you can really find, people's whose abilities are better than others. It goes into some interesting ideas, but this is 2.5 hours long. Yeah, it's way too long. There's this whole side plot with about Brad Pitt's daughter, and after I left this movie, I realized there were about probably in total half an hour of footage of her with him. Maybe that might be pushing it. Anyway, they could have cut that all out. It's completely unnecessary. It adds nothing to the story. I'm convinced the only reason it's in the movie is because she sings a song and it sounded good for the end credits, I guess. But other than that, completely unnecessary. Girl wasn't even that good, because as we all know, kid actors normally suck. This movie, I don't know. It had things in it that I liked it, but then there were times where I was sitting there, I was like, when's it gonna start? When are they gonna play baseball? And even when they get there, it never gained that momentum, But like I said, the script, it really keeps you interested. And I don't remember the last time, I saw a movie where, it wasn't that good, but the script was interesting enough that it keeps your attention. And, this movie was kind of like baseball in a way. It was boring the whole time, but it was entertaining. I never thought this was any more than, worth my time. When I was watching it, I could never recommend, anyone, you definitely need to see this in theaters. The whole time I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, It's alright, there's nothing too special about it. And it just was streamlining. It was just going through the thing. There was nothing that made me say wow, There were some cool little moments, of direction, but that's a cliche thing when you have an epic moment and the camera's looking at someone that's silent in a sports movie. Come on, there's 50 movies with that out there. But nevertheless, this movie, it's worth your time. If you want to see this, go check it out in theaters, because you'll probably like it. But it's really long. At one point I was really thirsty and I just walked out and went and got a bottle of water, and I didn't miss anything. So this is worth your time, but it's skidding on a rental, So I don't know if that makes sense, but comment, tell me your reactions. And yeah, thumbs up, subscribe. Please check out my channel. Peace out, guys.